Hello guys, lately been playing New World again. I might have found the best overall place for skinning. This place is just too good. You will get the fastest skinning experience per hour, at least 6 aptitude crates once you hit 250 skinning, great amount of gold for the resources you will be selling, and with the recent update you will be able to level up your secondary weapon at a decent pace as well, about 2000 experience per hour. To put this place to the test that I found, I used different consumables and buffs with the same gear, which should be available for the average player and does not cost much. And I tested 3 different scenarios for 1 hour each. And let me tell you, the results were surprising. And the location itself is mind-blowingly good, because there are just so many wild animals and literally zero competition over them. Let's begin with what is required to run this. Firstly, you will be able to buy all of these required items for less than 2k and make it back in no time. I'm talking 10-15 minutes tops. So, firstly, I grabbed some Skinner items from the trading post. Tier 5 was mostly pretty cheap, so you can mix and match some tier 4 or even tier 3 Skinner items if you're running a little light on coins. Skinner items will give you skinning luck, which will play an important role when going on a skinning run. Next, grab yourself the cheapest and the highest level possible bow you can wear. The perks will not matter, but the weapon itself is important, that it is the strongest you can wield, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Next, you are going to need a skinning knife. Those are quite cheap, even at high gear score, but here you want minimum of 3 perks. A mote alignment, which gives you extra motes when skinning. You gotta check which motes cost most in your server and try to find one with that alignment. Gathering alacrity is essential for moving fast between skinning, and additionally you're going to want skinning yield, which will greatly amplify the resources you'll be able to get. Now, if there is a skinning knife that also has a lock on top of it, then that would be perfect, but it is not essential. For this to be most efficient, we will be going to need to put all of our attribute points to dexterity, as it directly benefits skinning. Literally every attribute milestone offers something that we need. And starting off at 25, we have 10% skinning speed. At 50 points, we have 20% haste for 3 seconds after skinning. At 100, we have 50 encumbrance, which means we can hold 50 kgs of more resources. Then we have minus 10% weight of skinned items. Then at 200 we have 20% more skinning speed. At 250 we got 10% yield increase when skinning. At 300 we have 20% haste for 5 seconds after killing a prey. And at 350 we have 10% chance at finding rare items while skinning. Now, even if you're not max level, you can still greatly benefit hitting at least some of these milestones. You will get some bonuses, but all of them are essentially essential for skinning. Now let's move to the weapon perks, or skills, if you were to call it that. We are going to take 4 points from skirmish to get haste, rend, and cooldown reduction bonuses. Those are going to be the skills I am highlighting. Overall main focus will be on the hunter side. Here we are going to take the rapid shot, maxing that out, taking the long range, finishing shot, surprise attack, maxing out the penetrating shot, opening strike, bullseye, and the explosive arrow is also something that I maxed out. And then of course take the end perk here as well. Now before going out, you are going to want to make sure that your bags are as empty as possible. Ignore this over here. The emptier your bags are, the longer your trips are going to be. With me, 1500 kgs, I managed to do trips that lasted for half an hour. What you also might want to take with you are trade skill foods. I personally used savory fish cake, which is the cheapest and best overall. You got one that costs more and gives you 500 extra points of luck, but I think this has like diminishing returns. It's not really that worth it. Additionally, I used the Gold Touch Proficiency Booster. This one you can buy at Cutlass Keys for Gold Cursed doubloons. You can buy like 5 of these a week, and they cost so little. You should always take them. You should always take them. You're eventually going to use them 100%. If you haven't gone to Cutlass Keys yet, or you don't have doubloons, you can buy these off the trading post, although from the trading post they're quite expensive. Now, without further ado, let me demonstrate you the run a little bit so you get the idea of it. The location is in Great Cleave, and it's really flying under the radar. It's Icy Wilds. The area you will be focusing on is right there. The spawns are nicely spread apart, which means that you have optimal time between skinning and killing. I like to run this area clockwise, but you can do vice versa if that's the way you like instead. There is very little downtime here, and the time flies fast. You will always be either shooting or skinning or running. If you are shooting the stag and you have a clear line of sight for the head, then go for a heavy shot or a skill shot. That way you can try to secure an instant kill and it doesn't run away. The alabaster wolves have slightly more HP, so kill them the most convenient way as possible. Speed here is important, so you will have to prioritize your prey, since stags might run away if you don't finish them fast enough. So do not chase them if you can't kill them within seconds. If possible, tag multiple wolves at once, so they run to you and you can finish them off and skin them in close proximity. This will reduce the amount of time playing around trees to get a shot sometimes. You don't have to go in a perfect circle when running clockwise. Little zigzagging is okay because you want to focus on the places that have the biggest prey concentration per area. By the time you're about 75% done with your route, the prey at your starting point will already be spawning, so the downtime will be non-existent. If the gatherable flowers are on your path, pick them up too. That's a little extra money for motes and mushrooms. If you have a good eye, you might spot some nuts under trees. I was able to spot them a few times, but I didn't directly go searching for them. Now let's talk about the 3 different tests I did for 1 hour each, all in a nice spreadsheet for you to see down in the video description. In every test, the consumables and or buffs were slightly different. 3 things were same for all 3 tests, and those were that I was always PvP flagged for extra 3% gathering luck, and I always used the gear I showed you. And additionally, I used the affordable skinning food, the savory fish cake that I showed you, which gives 2000 luck for 40 minutes and cost about 10 gold each in my server. And those 3 things were the baseline, which I ran for the first hour, and that yielded me about 6k gold. For the second run, I used the same stuff, but I used the Gold Touch Proficiency Booster, which I showed you earlier. Additionally, I asked a guy in Windsward to perform a music buff for me so I could gather extra resources for 90 minutes. And this run caught me by surprise. I thought that I will get more of the cheaper materials and they will be only slightly better than the previous hour, but it turns out it was actually the best hour of all 3. The gathered resource boosts amplify the amount of resources that cost more too. Grand total was around 8k gold. And the third one, I used the same stuff as the previous one, but I switched out the song for the luck labor for that 5% extra gathering luck to see what the impact was. And to my surprise, the luck in this area at least is not that important unless you're going for something specific from these wolves or stags. This one is at the middle of all 3 tests by gold gain, and it was 7k an hour for me. As you see, I've highlighted the amounts of the resources in each tier, where I got the most of them. All of the sell price per item are set as selling orders. These are fairly liquid items and won't be on the trading post for too long. Since we want to make the most amount of money, we don't want to sell to other people's buy orders. Maybe if you're really hurting for cash. Oh, and 6 Aptitude crates can land you up to 1k extra gold from the items inside, if lucky. Not to mention the skinning patterns to craft your own best in slot skinning gear or sell that stuff. Of course, the prices may vary depending on the server, but you get the general idea of how much of what resource you will get here per hour with these buffs. And the experience, of course, as well. Note that I did not use hunting trophies in my house or any sort of maxed out luck gear this place, and this test run was to show what an average player could expect from it. And hey, at least for this run, the skinning luck was not really that important, it seems, so that's good to know. Let me know what other skills, resource farms would you like to see. I gladly do more of these. Just let me know in the comments. This is an easy way to provide insightful overview for you guys and to learn some stuff and gain some gold for myself as well. Hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to my channel and like the video to push the algo. Catch you in the next one.